guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back at one of my favorite filming spot locations because guess what? We have that one iconic SUV that's definitely getting a lot of attention. Is this vehicle right here. This is it. This is the top dog 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro. But before we get into this body on frame SUV, let's talk about what's going on here. So when you look at SUVs, many of them in today's market are what's known as crossover SUVs. That's where they use a modular car chassis and then they put an SUV looking body on that. With this vehicle, this sits on that TNGA F chassis, which is the same exact steel box frame chassis that the Toyota Tacoma sits on, the pickup truck. That's going to give it a ruggedness that none of the other competitors can touch, including, I know many people are in love with the new Passport, but the Passport Trail Sport is a crossover SUV. It doesn't have a steel box frame. Now, with that being said, for this new generation, there is a laundry list of changes, and a lot of people have been unfortunately frustrated with some of these changes, one of them being what's underneath the hood. Now, with all that being said, at the end of the day though, is this that SUV, that mid-size two-row off-road SUV that you want to get? And that's including the crossovers as well. Which one do you want to get and which one should you get? Let's go ahead, let's dive into this one and see if it's worth the money. Right off the bat, new color, TRD Pro specific. It's called Mud Bath, and it's a very interesting color. I actually like it more when it's overcast like it is now. In the bright sun, it's eh. But let me know what you think about this Mud Bath color in the comment section. Now, at the front of the business, you'll see how they redesigned everything, including the headlight housing, LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, turn signals, and I like the way they put the TRD badge in there. On TRD Pros, just like on the Tacoma TRD Pro truck, you get wider fender flares, but they are gloss black. I'm not too sure how that is going to age over time, especially if you're really using this for its intended purpose of off-roading. Now, as we come across the front grille, I love the Toyota Heritage badge. On TRD Pro models, you always get the Toyota Heritage badge, that gunmetal gray finish, forward-facing camera. The only thing I would like to see is a washer. So that is a zonk that there's no washer. Gloss black on the upper grille, fully functional. Working our way down to the mid grille, more functionality. Love the way that they have the large rectangular LED light bar in the center, and then you're gonna get those rigid industry fog lamps on both sides. Obviously gonna help with that illumination at night. Gloss black on that lower portion, and then good news is you get flat black along the edge. Now, with this being a real deal TRD Pro, you are gonna get those TRD specific metal skid plates underneath to protect the oil pan, the fuel tank, all those goodies. And it actually does say TRD on it. So if you wanna lay down in your driveway and have somebody drive over you with this, you'll be able to see that a lot more clearly than what I could show you. Steven refuses to lay down on the ground and let me drive over him. He thinks I'm gonna run over him, which he's probably right, just for fun. Now, you do have over 10 inches of ground clearance, so this is a real deal off-roading machine. Because of all that ground clearance, you could go rock crawling if you want, you could climb up the side of a mountain. This has the goods, you'll see. Now, as we rise back up, love the bulge in the hood. What I don't love is that non-functional hood scoop. I guess you could use it as a pencil box. Maybe you could pop it off and hang it on your wall. Maybe if you were trying to dress up like a robot, you could use that as your breastplate, your chest plate. Or even use it, take it down by the river, use it like a little washing board, a little So I just wish it would be functional. I don't know what the big deal is. Lots of other brands have functional hood scoops. Why can't Toyota? I do love the nice bowl lines of the hood though. It really says, I mean business and I'm gonna drive over you. Now, as we come around the bend, being a TRD Pro, we're gonna get some TRD specifics. Love these flat black wheels with the TRD badge on them. Remember, that stands for Toyota Racing Development. Steven's gonna zoom in and show you that forged aluminum upper control arm, TRD, and it has TRD springs with Fox shock absorbers. So they have the remote reservoir, you have all of that beefiness, nice beefy lower control arm, the forged aluminum upper control arm. That's gonna allow for lots of wheel travel and stability. And then we have these 33-inch tires, no 35-inch, 33-inch. They're those Toyo open country all-terrain tires. They're the real deal. You got your shielding protection all the way around. And if you're wondering, well, Joe, what's the size of this wheel? It's an 18-inch wheel. So 18-inch wheel, 33-inch tire. Let me know what you think. I love the style of the wheel. I think it matches perfectly with our mud bath, and I like seeing those extra TRD goodies. Now, coming down the side, got to have your TRD Pro badge. Let people know you're rolling big. Gloss black on the mirror caps. You do have your 360-degree cameras. From the side, I love the overall proportions of the new 4Runner. I think the style they got down really well. You have your ARB roof rack system, cargo rack. Get all the goodies up there. You know, it's one of those things, if you want to unplug and just disappear for a month, couple months, get all your goodies packed up, of course, a lot of Twinkies, and just head for the mountains. Just watch out for Sasquatch. He might be pissed off. Gloss black on your door handles, and then everything else is painted that mud bath color. The other thing I'm kind of surprised you don't get on a TRD Pro, especially when you think about the money at the end of the day, is there's no frame sliders. Yeah, you could get those extra, but I think they should come with them. I mean, come on. Working our way towards the rear, Steven will show off that rear shock absorber back there. Another thing that's great about this 4Runner over the previous generation is you have those electronic disconnecting stabilizer bars. So what that allows you to do is when you're going off-road, you just hit the button, and that is going to allow even more wheel travel so that you don't break anything. Wouldn't that be nice? You go off-roading and you actually can make it home in one piece without breaking anything. Now, coming around the back, shape the rear glass, very nicely done, just like the previous gen. I do like that ARB rack system. I just wish I had some ARB, like I said, some rock sliders, frame sliders. Now at the back, you do have the power dropping rear glass, just like the old ones. Wipers tucked underneath, just like the old one. And then you're gonna have the Toyota name embossed in the gloss black. I do like the way they work the taillights, of course, full LED. And this signifies that it makes sense. TRD Pro is gonna get the iForce Max engine, which is the top dog engine. And then working our way down, some gloss black on the rear bumper. I like this is nice, the way they stamp TRD Pro into that back. I almost feel like I've never even noticed that. It's kind of cool, instead of putting another badge or a sticker. And then you do have a spare. It needs to be, I feel like, mounted up higher. I'm a little disappointed that it's low, because that's gonna hurt your departure angle. So I am gonna zonk that. We do have our full tow hookup capability. And another thing that's sad is you just get a standard exhaust. Why don't I get a TRD Pro catback exhaust with some gloss black tips? Come on, man. This thing ain't cheap. You'll see. But why don't we go ahead? Enough chit chat about the exterior. Let's pop the hood and see what the big controversy is with what's powering it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have a prop rod. I'm not sure if I'm gonna zonk it. I think what I'm gonna zonk more is that there's no engine cover. That's like a freaking spaghetti mess of wires, hoses, and tubes that I don't want to see. What I do like seeing, though, is you get a custom TRD air box with a special filter and your air intake inlet. Back there, that's the big talking point. That is that electric motor. So this is a hybrid setup. So you have a 2.4 liter turbocharged inline 4 with a 1.87 kilowatt battery, lithium ion battery pack in that motor. It gives you 326 horsepower, 465 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60, believe it or not, in 5.9 seconds. It could tow up to 5,800 pounds, but here's the kicker. Previous generation with the V6, you want your V6 back? You would maybe get on a good day 16 miles of the gallon. This gets 23 in the city, 24 on the highway. So you are really killing it with the fuel economy, and that's on top of having more horsepower and more torque. Now, am I happy that a V6 is not available? No, not really, but like they say, like the kids say, it is what it is, and that's what we got. But why don't we go ahead, let's fire it up and see this TRD Pro roll. All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD Pro, all new for 2025. Now we get to the sticky subject. I remember when I used to teach high school history, we had the Great American Teach-In, and this doctor came into my class to speak to the kids about being a medical doctor. And one of the kids asked him, what's the most important thing that he could tell them? And he said, if it's sticky and slimy and it's not yours, don't touch it. I was sitting there like, what's going on here? But anyways, back to the sticky subject here. I kind of don't want to touch because it's really sticky. If you're asking, how much is this, Joe? My question to you is, are you sitting down? MSRP for the way that this one is optioned, it's almost hard for me to keep a straight face. $73,000. $73,000. TRD Pro starts at 67. So obviously this one has some options and stuff, but 73,000. Let's see what you get when you go new 4Runner to the door panels. I do love all the premium materials. The soft touch up top with the red TRD Pro stitching. Same thing on the armrest. The midsection of the door panel, you get an extra TRD Pro badge. You have your Twinkie TRD Pro holder in the center. 6 off-road Twinkies. And then you have a plethora of cup holders down there, bottle holders. You could get your sarsaparilla, your root beer, whatever you got. And we have the JBL sound system. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, I do kind of like the faux carbon fiber. It's better than gloss black. Let me know what you think about it. It's not too gaudy. I like the Heritage badge even more. You do have a Costco hot dog holder, which after you buy this for 73 grand, that's about the only thing you're going to be able to afford to eat are $1.50 Costco hot dogs. Soft touch on the glove box with the double stitching, not single, double stitching. Slide on in, you're getting the big one. 14-inch infotainment system. Some people love it, some people hate it. It's the same exact infotainment system that all of the Toyotas have, the same multimedia software. I'm going to put it into drive. The reason why I'm going to do that is I want to hit the forward-facing camera because this is where you could pull up your off-road information while you have the camera on, 360. Look at the trajectory where the tires are. You even have your pitch and your roll. Nice to have all that. And then throwing it into reverse, there we are out the back. And you could do the same thing. You could have your toe. You could do your 360 sit and spin really nicely. Boop, 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 boop. That way, if you're going to run over an elf or somebody or something sharp, you could look at the cameras before you do that. Or you could watch yourself running over somebody if you really don't like them. And then we're right back where we started. I've been watching a lot of Dateline in 2020. That's why I'm kind of on this kick about running over people. That's where we started. You do have a TRD red on button because this is a hybrid. Real volume knob. Dual climate with the nice digital readouts. 3 stages of heated seats, 3 stages of ventilated seats. Nice toggle switches for your AC control. Wireless charging, a place where you could stand up 3 payday bars with some extra nuts in your mouth. 2 USB-Cs, a 12 volt. This is going to control your 8-speed automatic with the TRD badge. You got your 4x4, the different modes, and you have, of course, crawl control, hill descent, all those little goodies. You can lock the rear diff, and you can disconnect the stabilizer bar, all by the press of a button. 2 cup holders, nicely padded with the stitching. Open it up. You got some decent room in there. You could probably put, I would say, 2 gold bars So after you sell off all your other gold and silver to buy one of these, the last 2 gold bars you can keep in there, keep them safe, and there's some felt lining. And then the seats, the soft-tex. Where's my TRD Pro embroidery? That's kind of a zonk there. You got the camo design that shines through the perforations, the stitching, full electric assist for the passenger, full electric assist for the driver. You got a standard size sunroof. Let me know if you were hoping for a panoramic sunroof. And then you have a digital rear view mirror. But why don't you come over here to the business end? I got a steering wheel with the TRD name on it. Come on over, let me show you. Guys, business time behind the wheel. You do have 2 memory seat settings, which is nice. And then in the pedal box, they do give you an aluminum brake pedal, aluminum throttle. I just would like an aluminum dead pedal. Plus, where's my TRD Pro floor mats? It just says 4Runner. This ain't just a 4Runner. I just spent 73 grand on this thing. I want my TRD Pro floor mats. Easy to get to seat controls. The seats are comfy. I gotta give them that. Very, very comfy. And so, once again, Steven was sitting in the seat and he had it raised to like high chair level. I'm 6 feet tall, plenty of room in here. Steering wheel, nice leather, all perforated. It would be better if it's just a Toyota rather than the Toyota badge on the horn button, because this is a TRD Pro, right? Flat black on the switchgear. It is a power tilting and telescoping wheel. What I do love is you have all these auxiliary buttons. You can get a winch, air horn, extra lighting. That's a nice touch. And then that's how you light up the TRD light bar. Ka-cha! When it comes to the digital gauge cluster, you do have a 12.3-inch digital display. Here's where I go through the different modes: sport, normal, eco, with the nice graphics. No head-up display, which is another surprise in here. But let me know what your thoughts are so far in the comment section for this $73,000 TRD Pro. Let's get in the back seat and see if your passenger is going to be happy with their experience. Right, guys, back seat time, and I'm telling you right now, if you like space, these 2-row mid-size SUVs have a lot of space. Seats, that same soft-tex material. Same thing on the back. Large pockets. This is where you're going to be able to put maybe some churros, some, you ever seen those large lollipops where it's like, kind of like that, you know, it goes around, around, around. My mom would never get me one of those as a kid. But you could put them back here. And if you have 73 grand, I'm sure you could probably swing a couple more dollars to get those. In the back of the command center, you have your AC vents, 2 USB-Cs, and a home power source. Now, what's sad is that the seats don't slide. So if you wanted to do some slip and slide and you can't, they do recline a little bit, which is nice. And, wait, let me make it perfect. It's gonna bother me. Sometimes my OCD. And then you pull this down, nice soft 2 cup holders. But let's get in the back seat. Actually, we are in the back seat. Let's get in the cargo area. I don't even know where I am at after hearing $73,000 for the price of this thing. Let's get in the cargo area and see how many stacks of cash we could put back there, because you're gonna need it if you want one of these in this 4Runner. All right, guys, cargo area time. Of course, we got the TRD Pro version. You're gonna get electric assist on the rear lift gate. One thing I wanna point out is just notice how high the rear bumper is. So if you have a lot of heavy camping gear that you need to get in the back, you definitely want to bend with the knees so you don't throw your back out. And be careful you don't get a hernia. Those aren't fun. In the back area, being a 2-row, you get 42.6 cubic feet of space. So you get a nice, generous amount of room. Fold the seats down. It's a 60-40 split. You're going to get 82.6 cubic feet of space. Now, the nice thing is, if you have a dog or dogs like I do, Oscar and Frankie, of course, this would be a little perfect oasis for them, because you could fill up these areas with some dog treats, some dog food, maybe some water. On the passenger side, one thing that's cool about the TRD Pro is you do get this little command center. So you have an internal air compressor here. What you do is you pull that guy off, and then there is your nipple for your air compressor. I like saying nipple sometimes. 12 volt, 2 USB-Cs, and you have a full digital display back there, which is really nice. And on top of that, they even grant you with a home power source. So these are the things that you get when you go TRD Pro. And then just when you thought you were done, there is a nice little cubby area back here where you have your Band-Aids with little Bigfoots on them. And then they give you this little Toyota bag. This is one of those bags like I see guys at the gym carrying around. I always wondered, what do they carry in those little bags? My thought is it's a bunch of steroids and illegal supplements. But let me know what you think, if you've seen anybody at your gym with those little bags. I try to ask Steven, but he won't tell me, because he's got one of those little bags. He won't tell me what's in it. But enough with the curiosity about the bag. What I'm more curious about is, how does this TRD Pro drive? Why don't we hop in and go for a little spin? All right, guys, we are inside this 2025 Toyota 4Runner TRD Off-Road, and right away, I love the interior. You cannot say this interior is not better than the previous generation. It is just head and shoulders better than the previous generation. Seeing out over that big bulge on the hood, and yes, the hood scoop is fake, but it was fake on the previous generation as well. Love the 12.3-inch digital gauge cluster, getting to that large 14-inch infotainment system. This even has that JBL removable speaker, Bluetooth speaker, that you could utilize. Lots of storage space, heated seats, ventilated seats. They really wrap you around like a nice soft blanket with all the amenities. Now, going down the road, there is a lot of road noise because you do have those off-road tires. And there's a bit of wind noise because, remember, we do have that roof rack system up top above us. But the seats are so supportive, especially when you are doing any kind of off-roading. They hold you in nicely. I'm surprised that this did not get those fancy dancy seats that the Tacoma TRD Pro has. I'm sure that was a way for them to cut back on some costs. But visibility is great. We got our digital rear view mirror. And it's gonna surprise you when you drive this vehicle, that instant torque you get off the line from the electric motor. It compensates for any kind of boost lag from the turbocharged 4-cylinder. But going down the road here, the suspension is comfortable. It isn't floaty. It's very buttoned up. I love the amount of space that you have in here, especially because it's just a 2-row. Yes, you could get 3 rows, but you can't get 3 rows in a TRD Pro, that's for sure. But just having the 2 rows are perfect. Steering wheel feels great. Nice leather. They do pump a little bit of sound in to kind of compensate for that 4-cylinder turbocharged experience. But man, over 400 pound-feet of torque in this thing, that's a lot of torque. You got your different modes, really easy to go through. And then on top of that, you have easy access to all the controls. Love the fact that you could pull up the cameras very easily as well. I mean, that's another nice little touch that you can do, bringing up the camera even while you're driving. But they did a great job with the springs, the shock absorbers, all those goodies. And it actually handles pretty well for the type of vehicle that it is. Let's go into this little U-turn underneath the overpass. There we go. Not too bad, not too bad. Then we're gonna go on throttle. You ready? On throttle, here we go. Smooth shifts from the 8-speed. Get you up to highway speed very quickly. And then of course you're getting all the Toyota safety technology. That Toyota Sensing 3.0 really allows you to take full use of all the different safety things that they have. And the fact that you now have electronic disconnecting stabilizer bars is just another extra plus when it comes to doing that ultimate off-roading. All right, now to go into 4 high, because we're gonna change from 2 high to 4 high, you're just gonna twist. You twist the knob that is below the mode selector knob, and that's gonna show you 4H. That lets you know that you're in 4 high, which is good. And then of course, you can go ahead and make any other changes like lock the rear diff or do anything like that very easily. So that's another good piece of technology. But it is nice having that ability to do that all by a twist of the knob here. And then of course you could go down into 4 low. And then when you're ready to get back on the asphalt jungle, then you can have everything set back exactly the way that you had it. And just pull on out. But like I said, having that electric motor really gives you that instant oomph of torque. But the handling on this vehicle is just, it's really nicely done. Let's go on throttle from a dead stop. You ready? On throttle, here we go. So you got plenty of torque, plenty of grip, and the way that they work the rack, the steering rack in this thing, it gives you a lot of good information. But I love the way this thing drives. I guess the big question on everybody's mind is how reliable will it be? I guess time is going to tell. But I'm hoping that this has been a quick overall review of the 4Runner TRD Pro. We're gonna get back to where it all started and wrap this one up. So I'll see you in a split second. Guys, another great day in so many ways, especially because the sun wasn't out. That was probably my favorite part of this review. No sun. The humidity is not too bad, so I didn't sweat so much, but we definitely got to thank everybody at Toyota for getting us access finally to this TRD Pro version of the 4Runner. Let me know what you think. For the moolah, is this the must-own of those mid-size 2-row off-roading SUVs? Let me know in that comment section. But if you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Got to give it up to Stephen Flood. You know what? He's taking time out of his busy schedule to come work with us. And I really appreciate that because he's a busy man. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.